Hey everybody, welcome back. It is CALLOUS Draft League Week 5 action. You guys already saw the draft. It is Bokk and Gold. If you want to go back and review the draft and see my prediction, which was a Bokk victory, then you could do that in the link in the description. Likewise, you could join my Discord server via a link in the description. Alrighty, let's get into it. It is Bokk for the pink team on the bottom and Gold for the first place green team up on the top. Here's game one in their best of three. Salamence lead, Metacham lead. Generally speaking, advantage Salamence here. Gold agrees, out of the way he goes. Hidden Power flying, even though Intimidate happened there, still does a big chunk at 46. Gyarados shows that it has lefties, so it's probably not the flail set that's been so popular lately. And out of the way that goes from a 4 who establishes Alaris Spikes. Protect just in case. Haven't seen a lot of Metachams with high jump kick, but in theory, if you protect, kind of a funny outcome. It keeps going and crashes, and it hurts itself. Here comes Miltank coming in on the one spike, but it's immediately roared away. We don't see anything new. It is Metacham, probably one of the worst things that could have been roared out from Steelix's perspective. Focus Punch protected against, sure. Really surprised that he switches. Is he anticipating Boom? Well, we end up with Gyarados on Steelix. Gyarados not, or by Slowbro, also begins with an S. Not comfortable with that matchup, so out we go. Miltank begins cursing up, a little bit dangerous. The Slowbro can hit it really hard now. I don't know about staying in here at all. Body Slam and Para, but yeah, Psychic is now doing 44%. Fair enough. He's going to go for Rest and try to get out of this, but not clear that... Yeah, I don't think Miltank was winning that matchup. I agree with switching out there. So now Slowbro is also going to rest. See if there is a T-Bolt in our future. We see that there is. The combined defensive side of the boost is making it do a little bit less, but it's still hurting. Another T-Bolt. Gonna wake up and rest again. Is he gonna try to stall him out of T-Bolts? I don't know about that plan. Out of the way he goes. Yeah, I don't think that trying to stall him out of T-Bolts was great, statistically. Much more likely to find a crit than not before he runs out of PP. Second layer spike established. Unclear if Gold has a spinner or not. Still 2 unrevealed for both players. Well, make that 2 and 1 because Umbreon comes in for the first time for Bokk. Gonna immediately baton pass out though. Gets the Slowbro in on Ice Beam, sure. But we're back to Umbreon as Thunderbolt comes down. Umbreon is generally a pretty good special wall in the format. It can wall Regice pretty consistently, and now we've got a Wish floating. Raikou comes in, so now we have 1 unrevealed per player. BP, Steelix, fair enough. So the Wish goes to waste, but it does scare away the Raikou. And EQ there, obviously aimed at the Raikou, is going to blink on Gyarados instead. Now EQ comes back. And Toxic, so unless that is a Heal Bell Miltank, which I don't think it is, or a Rest Gyarados, gotta be an advantageous turn for Steelix. Regardless, Dragon Dance comes down. He's only at +1 speed rather than +1 attack, thanks to Intimidate. 43% Hidden Power, 73% Rock Slide. And that is our first casualty on turn 29 as Gyarados drops. Now, Ludicolo comes in, previously unrevealed. Full team now known for Mason. Here comes Umbreon. Rain Dance coming down. Still probably can't break through the Umbreon, though. It's that damn tanky. Even Hydro Pump, his best effort. Hydro Pump in the rain does 46%. Umbreon able to get the Wish off. Now Protect, and after lefties, he's going to be back up to a hundo as he starts stalling out rain turns. Critical hit would be necessary, but it does not come, and we've got an obvious Protect turn here. Again, getting him back to full health, and now the rain has stopped. Miltank comes in on the spikes that we now know Gold cannot remove. And here comes the 4 probably about to lay a third layer. Down it comes. Might just boom now. No spikes on the other side either, so not like the 4 has to stick around as a spinner. Earthquake on Steelix, yeah, not without a lot of boost, just 22%. There's Roar, but it drags out the Medicham again, which is one of the only threats to the Steelix. Ludicolo comes in on a Protect turn. And now Umbreon again, as Rain is reestablished. Same deal, Hydro Pumps would need to find crits. NPP is a factor here against a Mon that we know has Protect. But yeah, the first one protected against, and the second one just misses the old-fashioned way. Kind of surprised that he protects there. I think I might have just clicked Toxic, right? Maybe he doesn't have that. We haven't seen the last move. It could just be last move Pursuit. Either way, Ludicolo not breaking through anytime soon, and we do see the last move Pursuit. So I don't know that I love this set of Umbreon because it's kind of do nothing. I think I would want Toxic on there somewhere. The criticisms that Umbreon is do nothing. This set, that might be applicable. I mean, even then, you can just pass Wish to your teammates, which I don't think is nothing. But, yeah, I mean, as far as offensive output, this set is absolutely nothing. I really prefer Toxic on my Umbreons, but that aside, the Ludicolo has largely been neutralized. Hidden Power is now going to kill Miltank as well, as this game slips further and further in the direction of Bokk. That is not the hidden power that he needs, tragically. Hidden power water or fire or some weird one other than the normal grass and ice would obviously be better against Steelix, but doesn't have that in this particular case. And I think Bokk is pretty damn comfortably in the lead between the 6-4 Pokemon advantage, Blaziken, by the way, his last poke coming in for the first time, and the fact that he's got 3 layers beneath his opponent's team. Well, he doesn't have Salic Berry because he's got lefties, but he's trying to sub up anyway. Sky Uppercut doesn't kill, but neither does T-Bolt. Here comes Medicham, and that gets cooked. Another kill. Mason is still not even on the board. Will he finally be here? Bokk is not ready to let the Blaziken go. Instead, it's going to be Fori, which may or may not survive Thunderbolt here. Calm Mind gives the boom opportunity, and he's going to take it. That leaves Mason with only 2 Pokemon, and I don't think the 2 Pokemon that he has are Pokemon that can win from this situation. I think it is basically a lock that Bokk takes it here. And yeah, the Blaziken, unless it misses Fire Blast, is just going to clean it up. 2 Fire Blasts with no miss later, and we are done. And it is a one-sided game. Game 1 victory for Bokk over Gold. Let's go over to game 2, and let's go ahead and switch the sides for continuity. Bokk on the bottom, he's on the pink team, Gold on the top for the green team. Venusaur and Arcanine, obviously fire beats grass. This is Gen 1 basics. Blissey comes in, no problem with the flamethrower. Milotic comes in, yes, problem with the Thunderbolt. Not overwhelming, but 38%, decent chunk. Yama in now, meets the Venusaur. Back to Arcanine. Intimidate probably doesn't matter, but there is a substitute Venusaur, which is unusual. Flamethrower, of course, pops that, and Leech Seed, tragically for Gold, is going to miss. Yama on Bliss is a good prediction and double switch for Bokk. He's going to get a free attack here, and he opts for Knockoff, removing leftovers from Flygon. Toxic on Milo, both good and bad. Activates Marvel Scale, but also gives residual damage. He might just refresh it away, and he does. Now Venusaur staring down Milo, met by Arcanine. We're already kind of in a pattern in this game where obviously A checks B, checks C, checks A, and there's just a little bit of a loop going on. Sleep Powder is going to put Arcanine, well, to sleep. The move is pretty self-explanatory. And from behind his sub, he begins Leech Seeding. But sub is not the norm on Venusaur. Sceptile, generally the better sub-seeder. And that means he only has the 1 attack, which we now know to be Razor Leaf. So, see where that gets him. 34% is an okay chunk on Milo, especially when it has a higher than normal critical chance. But this set, I think, is pretty easy to wall. It would benefit a lot from spikes because obviously it forces a lot of switches. And he may have spikes somewhere, but he hasn't set them up yet. And Without them, this set, while obnoxious to play against without a doubt, doesn't seem all that effective to me. He finally does get roared out from behind his sub, but it doesn't give us new information. It's just the Blissey again, and the Venusaur instantly makes a reappearance and begins subbing up again, but that is also blown away. In this case, Roar from Yama. Finally, we see something new. It's yet another substitute Pokemon, a Jolteon. Knockoff is blocked, but that also gets Whirlwinded away, and we're back to the Bliss. Now it's Flygon. That gets hit with Toxic. So Knockoff, Whirlwind, Toxic Yama. Cool set, a set that I like, and probably just has like Brick Break or something, Cross Chop, whatever, as the last move. Earthquake there, 31 on Milo. One turn window to crit kill it, but doesn't come. Does get the recover off. Arcanine down to just 5%, 11 after lefties. Maybe could have done something there, but full para, or regular para rather, is just going to make it pretty darn useless. But we don't have an actual KO yet. 6-6 as we approach turn 30. Dragon Dance comes down. See if he has Ice Beam or not. Otherwise, he's going to have to get out of the way. He's actually still slower after the Dragon Dance, which is unusual. But he does, in fact, have Ice Beam. So down goes Flygon for our first KO. And here comes Claydol, which we don't know if there's anything for him to spin away yet. And now we know. Cloyster is a spiker. Fair enough. It makes sense because a ton of this stuff, that set of Venusaur, Flygon, Jolteon, it screams spikes. Those are all pokes that very strongly prefer that spikes are there, and they become way more effective when they are. So Cloyster is toxic at the moment. Surf, sure, but Bokk is being pretty sticky here and really not wanting spikes to stick around. Clicking Rapid Spin yet again. And yeah, it's going to be a boom. So Gold is in fact not going to have spikes in this game. And it leaves us in a 4-5, keeping in mind that it's basically a 4-4 because the Arcanine is pretty darn useless given its current health and the fact that it's paralyzed. T-Bolt knockoff, sure. Blissey is also going to be without its lefties. And last poke, Moltres finally revealed for Gold. And it was Cross Chop there, which is going to cost 2 of its precious 8 PP against Moltres thanks to pressure. Still don't know the last poke for Bokk, but they're going to exchange Toxics. No potential Bell user in sight for Bokk. The Blissey, I could have it. I mean, one of the moves is going to be Soft Boiled, so there's only one free slot. We shall see. I kind of doubt that it's Bell, but it could be. Yama goes down, leaves us at a 4-4. Moltres is also soon to go down. Little double back to Milo, fair enough, takes the hidden power fine, and Moltres does in fact succumb to the Toxic. So, 3-4. And Surf does not pop the substitute of Venusaur. And as we get to fewer and fewer Mons, this Venusaur will be increasingly obnoxious to play against. Here comes Arcanine. See if he's got anything here. Extreme Speed or something. Try to pop the sub. Does he have any value with this guy? Yeah, there you go. Does more than actual nothing with Extreme Speed. So good for Bokk for getting some amount of value out of that. Not a lot of value, but more than 0 in popping the sub on the way out. Venusaur, ooh. Milo might not be the sleep target that you want there. Well, I guess if he has another bulky water in the back, but the 3 Pokemon that he has alive are all weak to grass, which is quite unfortunate given the circumstances. And I believe Gold is going to send us to a 3rd game. Yeah, he's just going to Razor Leaf his way through the crowd here. Every single remaining Mon. I mean, in fact, the Arcanine with the resistance, but the Claydol was weak to it too. So Bokk actually loaded up a team with 4 grass weaknesses, which maybe he thought that he could get away with, or maybe it was just an oversight, but he ran 4 grass weaknesses into, well, a grass attacker, and it went as you would expect. So, Mason forces a game 3, and that will decide the set. Here is that game 3 with Bokk on the bottom for the final time and with gold on the top. Starmie and Tauros lead respectively. Probably advantage Starmie, but gold doesn't agree. And that is why. T-Wave can happen, and T-Wave is bad. I don't know if I agree with trying to recover stall him out here. In fact, another double edge would kill him even if he were to recover. So he switches it up to Surf, and Tauros bites it. So we end up with a quick 6-5 advantage for Bokk. Aerodactyl going to click Substitute here. Ooh, it's a full stall set. He's got Toxic. Probably actually relevant that missed on Misty. That was a little bit unlucky for gold. He's now suffering from Perish Song, so obviously he's going to have to get out of the way soon. Vaporeon comes in. Does he... I don't like the Rock Slide there. I would have definitely gone for Toxic on the way out, and that would have been definitely better against Vaporeon. But out of the way he goes before he dies to the power of music. Earthquake for 33%, only because of a crit. Roar is going to pop out a Donphan, and that is going to eat a hefty Surf on the back of the organically high special attack stat from Vaporeon. It did retaliate with Earthquake, but out of the way he goes. Wish floating, and the Registeel has a curse, but I would probably just roar that away without an issue here. And that's what happens. Our Maldo comes in. Man, this team for gold, what is he, fucking Steven Stone? Look at all these rock, ground, steel kind of things. EQ coming down and Wish coming down, respectively. Earthquake, pretty underwhelming for 16%. And there is Heracross in the back. So full team revealed for gold, but only 3 pokes revealed for Bokk. Donphan comes in. That's gone. And Registeel, I mean, it can't threaten the Vaporeon, but it's not all that threatened by the Vaporeon either. And he's going to Curse Up, 'cause why not? But even then, it's an underwhelming Earthquake, and Donphan reappears. Vaporeon is back up to 100% between the Wish and its lefties. Scooby-Doom and Curse, respectively. Flamethrower there, 57%, pretty hefty. And with the aid of the Curse at +1, Earthquake makes Houndoom no more. And we've got ourselves a 5-5. Make that a 5-4. Donphan is also no more. Alakazam shown now for Bokk for the first time. That seems like a very real threat in this situation. It doesn't normally have Substitute, though. Psychic, 52%. There you go. That is a creative solution to Substitute. Get him with Rock Blast. Once you pop the sub, the excess does damage. That's one way to get around Alakazam. So cool play there for gold. Leaves us in a 4-4. Megahorn missing. And Roar. And the Megahorn missing there is relevant, obviously, since he was at +2. Wouldn't have killed the Vaporeon, but it would have hurt. Roar as well. Yeah, the Vaporeon seems very hard for gold to kill with the particular configuration that he has left. Maybe the Heracross can do it, but not so sure about the rest. And it actually harkens back the fact way earlier in the game that Aerodactyl went for Rock Slide on the way out rather than Toxic is actually really, really relevant here, because this Vaporeon, had it been Toxic the whole time, would be much, much worse than it is right now. And it does not look like he would have had a way to Heal Bell that away, so there's that as well. So I think Gold probably kicking himself right now for not clicking Toxic all those turns ago. That being said, Gold does have the on-paper lead at 4-3 right now. We still don't know the last poke for Bokk. And Armaldo is now trapped with Mean Look. Vaporeon coming in as SD comes down. And now Registeel comes in. Yeah, Mason really, really struggling to break the Vaporeon here. Like I said, Toxic would have helped a lot, but as it stands, without the Toxic, I think only the Heracross can break it realistically. Here it comes again. Yeah, this whole damn game is going to come down to whether or not Volt can... Man, Volt. Gold. Look, it's 2 in the morning. Whether or not Gold can break through, and that's how I crossed the letters. It was V for Vaporeon, and then Volta is a person, and then Gold kind of sounds like Volt. Like I said, it's 2 in the morning. But this whole game is going to come down to whether or not Gold, not to be confused with Volta, different player, different team, whether or not Gold can break the Vaporeon. And right now, that seems questionable. But the Heracross is healthy, so maybe. Still don't know the last poke for Bokk. That's the other thing. It could all be for naught. I mean, even if the Heracross eventually breaks the Vaporeon, which is far from a guarantee, there's still the unknown last poke for Bokk that could obviously be very relevant in this game. Well, SD. Parasong puts him on a clock, but maybe just before that happens, he can get something done here. Out prediction there for Bokk. He goes for Swords Dance again, thinking it's an obvious protect turn, but it's not. And he gets him with Toxic, and now he's going to protect, of course. And we'll see. He might actually keep the Heracross in here. Articuno, yeah, he wants to kill something on the way out. Didn't know there was a Mega Horn resistance in the back, tragically, and that makes it not worth it. Had he known it was Articuno in the back, I don't think he stays in there, but yeah, he's going to go for the Gusto on the way out. Articuno is going to make him unhappy. And crucially, I mean, Toxic misses there, which is insult to injury, but crucially, I think it's going to be very, very difficult now, almost impossible for Gold to break through the Vaporeon. I think Bokk is going to take this now. Didn't know it was Articuno in the back. I don't fault him. I said at the time before he did it, that I would consider staying in with Heracross there, and yeah, I don't fault him for doing it, but wrong poke in the back, tragically. Vaporeon comes in again. It has really been the MVP for Bokk here. I guess if you had Rock Blasted him, I get the full 5-hitter there. Maybe that's a way to break the Vaporeon, but no such luck. Aerodactyl substituting. I don't know what that really changes. If it is pressure rather than Rockhead, I guess he could try to PP stall him out of Surfs, but meh. Roared away. Or I guess last poke Registeel. But the problem with that is if the Misdreavus is still alive, even if you are a full 6 curses or what have you, you would just die to Perish Song. And he's Mean Look Perish trapped here, by the way, so unless he can find a way to kill the Misdreavus, which it doesn't look like he can do, I believe the Registeel is going to drop as well, and then it will be only the Aerodactyl. And if the Misdreavus gets a single turn, it will just click Perish Song, and this game will be all but over. That seems to be where we're going here. So yeah, I mean, now he can either just beat the thing 1v1, or if he ever gets the Misdreavus in, he can just click Perish Song, and that will effectively end the game as well. Going to be very, very challenging for Gold to win here. First thing he has to do is land a Toxic on the Vaporeon. And it might all be for naught because this Articuno, we haven't seen one way or another, but this whole time it's looked like he does not have a Heal Bell user, but as it turns out, he might. So it might all be for nothing if the Articuno simply has Perish Song or Heal Bell. But we're about to click Perish Song, pending a flinch, and that would end the game. Or he's going to click Toxic. Okay. I don't know if that's a misclick or if he incorrectly thinks that Perish Song is blocked by Substitute. Like I said, it's incorrect. It's not blocked by Substitute. Yeah, I don't know if that was a misclick or if if he somehow just missed it, doesn't realize he's out, but very clearly, instead of randomly clicking Toxic into a substitute there as Misdreavus, you legit, I mean, he might not have a chance to anymore, but you just click Parish Song. Right now, Parish Song, win game. There we go. I don't know what happened before. I don't know if it was just a derp moment or a misclick or what, but missed it before, doesn't miss it now, and that is going to end it. There's absolutely no way anymore for gold to win this game. Mathematical lock for Bokk Nation. Rock Slide killing the Kuno, sure, but just going to click Protect here, and we are Dunyan Rings. And there you go. Sound of terrible music makes him perish. And it is therefore a Bokk Nation 2-1 victory, putting some points up for the pink team. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thumbs up.